Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chord Dave. We're live. It's Chord Dave live. Yay! Welcome. That's all I can say right now. Yeah, let's talk about guitars, music, and all kinds of other things. See what happens. We're going to spend about 90 minutes doing so. The Fury Usyk fight should probably just be getting started when we finish. For those of you, especially T, who's concerned about such things, but don't worry. If you have to leave early, it's fine. We'll forgive you in time. Anyways, before we do anything else, it's 10 p.m. Irish time, or just after. So it's time to say sláinte to you, wherever you may be, whether you're having coffee, breakfast, um, chocolate milk, whatever it is. This is a beer, so sláinte, my friends. Uh, okay. So took a chance on this one. It's called Journeyman, as you can see. This is their Juicy IPA. Is that what it says? Yeah, Juicy IPA. And it's very citrusy, which is not my favorite thing. But hey, there we go. There's an Eric Clapton album called Journeyman, so I went with that. And there you go. That's my rationale for choosing that beer. Of course, we had Epiphone doing the thing where let's pretend this Gibson's an Epiphone, and they're all excited about that. I have certain views, which you may have figured out just now, um, about Epiphones and Gibsons these days being the same thing, and we'll talk about that, I suppose, and anything else you want to talk about for the crack. Why not? Yes, and the shirt, as I'm sure you noticed, has been hanging on the chair for the last forever since I got it in that sponsorship deal I did. And I just threw it on because why not? Just wearing an All Star Wars shirt underneath it, so it's not guitar related. And this is. Anyways, let's dig into the chats and stuff like that. See how we get on for the hour and a half. I have a brief announcement to make, which I'll do at about half past this hour. And yeah, let's dig in. Thanks for joining us here on Chord Dave Live. Scott Bogfoot was here. He said cheers. James Severin was quickly following him up. Good to see you, James. Hope all's good, sir. Says, hey, Chord Dave, my Irish brother. Always good to have you with us, James. Rob F is here as well. Great to have you with us this week, Rob. Hope all is good with you and yours. T is here as well. Says, looks like the gang's all here. Well, some of the gang. Rob says, reworking my pedal board right now. We'll jump on the chat just before Dave joins us. Well, glad to have you with us, Rob. Thanks for joining us. T says, I knew he would say this. Mightn't be here long. Myself, Fury Usyk on tonight. Yeah, because, like I said to you in the chat, ring walks won't be over before the show ends. I knew you were going to say that like at 3:30 this afternoon. I was like, someone's going to say they're watching the fight. Who's it going to be? It's going to be T, isn't it? There we go. Anyways, Bug Lips interestingly says, I'm going to show off my dinky to a friend tomorrow and all the things I can do with it now. Well, listen, if you're proud of your dinky, you should show it off. That's my motto. So enjoy, just be careful. Sometimes you show your dinky to your friends, they'll want to touch it too. So be careful, because that can just get tricky. We got so I asked for suggestions for tonight's poll. We haven't got one yet. So if you have any suggestions you want to see, maybe about half past, I'll throw one up there. All of my ideas were Dave or somebody else. So that's a dangerous game for me to be playing on a Saturday night. Gloss versus Saturn versus NOS. Saturn's gonna win that, right? Richard Clark says he just discovered your dinky bug lips. Questions that get asked on this live stream. How many fingers does a guitarist actually need, says Scott. Well, I've seen many a video of guitarists with no fingers managing to play guitar. So they're out there. People who, don't have dexterity in their fingers or hands. People who have, born with disabilities in their hands but are still able to play guitar and stuff like that. So it depends what you want to do. But yeah, if you want to be like Stevie Ray or something, you probably need at least 3. Bugner says, I've been playing with my dinky forever, but only now learned new tricks. We're skating on ice here, guys. Talking about your dinky, it's very it's very thin ice here. I think, YouTube. I think if you watch is it Spectre Media? Glenn on there. He was talking about some stuff on YouTube lately that's very bendy of the rules. And shall we say, if you've watched his videos, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't watched his videos, you don't know what I'm talking about. But basically, there are videos that have popped up of, let's say, a transparency issue on certain channels. And yeah, it's skating past the YouTube censorships because of a disclaimer. We're gonna need one of those disclaimers, like anything said by Bug Lips is not to be taken as NSFW content or something. I don't know, but it's all good, man. We love you. And just during the show, keep your hands off your dinky. That's all I'm saying. Just pay attention. Uh, Richard says, how many fingers you need depends on if you play gloss or satin or nitro. Well, there you go. That's it's interesting. What a dilemma to have. Buglip says, I can't keep my hands off my dinky. I'm playing with it right now. Oh man. Like if somebody comes in and doesn't know too much about guitars, they're going to be like, "What's going on?" it's like the whole Steel Panther thing all over again, and that ran for like 2 years. By the way, I should have mentioned this is live stream 122, which is fantastic. Um, if you've watched all of the 122 live episodes, then fair play to you. That's what a marathon that's been. Most of them were 2 hours long. So if you've done that, we've spent at least, I'm going to say, 200 hours together. Maybe not. Maybe like that's just, eh, I did a few like 1 hour ones. Yeah, maybe 200 hours. So if you spent 200 hours with me, we're basically cousins. So thanks for joining us for all those shows. Um, anyways, Scott says, I wonder if ancient lyre players had gas too. I'm sure they did. I'm sure people have had gas for many things down the years. I like honestly, people who make YouTube videos are not helping the whole gas situation. And uh, as I occasionally make a YouTube video, I'm probably partially to blame for that also. So yeah, but before I was making YouTube videos, I was getting gas off other people's videos. So I get you. And again, if you don't know anything about guitars, you're just new to the community, you might not know what that is. You'll get there. Just stick around. Scott says, anyone new here, welcome. You'll have to subscribe, wait 1 minute before you can chat on the best chat on YouTube. And that's true. You do have to subscribe and then you can chat. And even if you want to give us like shit in the comments, give me shit in the comments. You got to be subscribed, so it sucks to be you because you can't win. Uh, but hey, it's all good. It just helps the channel a little bit if you subscribe. I would like to hit 10,000 by the end of the year. I'd love to hit 8,000 by the end of the month, which means I need I think another 40 or so subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It's very important. That'd be great. Buglips wrote something that I just am not intelligent enough to read, so I'm just gonna not read that out. It's the only reason I'm not reading a Buglips. I just can't pronounce all those words. Not at this time of night, or any time during the day. Scott says, Dave, I watched a good documentary earlier about supporting band members. I think it was done by Jason Hook. You'd like it. I think we all would. Here's the link if you want to check it later. Thanks, Scott. That's cool, man. Very cool. Yeah, definitely would be interested in checking that out at some point. So I'll have a look tomorrow, maybe. Booklip says, I'll give you the absolute best and top shelf wordplay, and all I get back is disrespect. No disrespect, sir. Highest respect for you. And just for that, because you feel disrespected, it's okay if you want to play with your dinky while the show's going on. Just you, though. Just you. Scott Bogwood says, I want a guitar with a magic 8-ball in it. Do you? And Buglips says, that sounds great until you ask it if you're going to nail the solo, and it says, outcome doubtful. There you go. There you go, indeed. Michael Watson says, good evening, Dave. Hope you have had a good week. And well, thanks, Michael. Appreciate it. I hope you've had a good week, sir. I've had a fun week. I've one of those things, those things that kind of cause you heartache and trouble and stress and strife and are awful. But you got to do them because you got to pay your bills. What's it called? Full-time misery, full-time job. One of those. Yeah, I've one of those. Um, I've spoken recently about how I can't talk about the business I'm in. I can't talk about the company I work for. I can't talk about what I do for a living. But like most people, I have a manager, and my manager this week decided to make some very silly mistakes, and they have set themselves up for a massive downfall. Let me just tell you that. If you're out there watching, good luck next week. Um, yeah, so I had a little bit of stuff to deal with. So it wasn't a great week, but all in all, I would just say just be very careful. If you're if you are somebody's manager or supervisor and you just decide, hey, you know what, I'm gonna fuck with that person. Just make sure you're not an idiot yourself, because that's gonna come back on you, and you're gonna make a fucking idiot of yourself, and you're gonna look bad, and you're gonna cause the company an awful lot of trouble. So just don't do it. Just don't come at Chord Dave, because it's gonna be a problem for you. Anyway, it's a long story, but never mind. It's gonna be sorted out and resolved very shortly. Um, not a big issue. Somebody accused me of something which is not true. Actually, I'll tell you what it is. This is where it comes from. I can say this, I think. Um, I made a joke in work a couple of days ago. When was it? Wednesday? I can't tell you why this came out, but my I made a joke saying, "Oh my God, did I get fired?" Something along those lines. Nobody complained about it. Nobody had an issue with it, but my manager had an issue with it and said that I was offensive and could have caused issues within my team by saying such a thing, and I was disrespectful to my colleagues. I was like, I didn't though. I was just talking about myself, and it was a joke, and everyone knows that I throw in jokes into the chat every now and then. So, because we communicate like on Slack chat channels. So anyway, bullshit. But yeah, if you're gonna come at me for making a joke, you better make sure you're backed up. Because if you're not, it's your funeral, my friend. So anyway, we're having some fun with with it at the moment. Anyway, it was just a joke. Nobody, I will say, like if I made a joke and it was offensive to somebody, I will hold my hands up and say I really do apologize. I never meant to offend anybody. It's just a joke, and apologies will be sent out. Um, and sincerely, I don't want to offend anybody at any time, except Caesar. But everybody else, not at all. So yeah, so I'd be genuine in that, but like this manager just decided to have a go at me, and really she should not have a problem with me because we've been through similar things recently, and I know I really shouldn't be going into this detail about it on the live stream, but let me just tell you another thing: if you're a supervisor slash manager, stop taking your job so seriously. You're just a corporate mule like the rest of us. Let me just excuse me for a moment. Yeah, that's not great. Anyway, we'll get through it. Scott says, anyone know of any free online CAD tools for designing guitars? That'd be fun, Scott. I don't know of any myself, but yeah, if you do find any, or if anyone wants to pop it in the chat, that'd be a lot of fun. Scott Brower's here. Great to see you. Scott says, AC/DC's back on tour. The clips from the first show yesterday in Germany are awesome. Yeah, checked out a couple this morning. People posted on YouTube. The opener, if you want blood, is it? And a few others, really good. I mean, they sound really good. So yeah, excited to see more footage from their shows over the next few weeks. T says, Dave, it looks like I'm here for the full show. I got tickets to Gilmore. Very cool, man. That is awesome. Not a bit jealous whatsoever. Scott says, Dave, is there an Irish version of the Wombles? And he says, looking forward to Dave's answer to that one. Is there a controversial answer I could give, T? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not familiar with there being an Irish version. There's the Wombles from Wimbledon, right? The London-based, like the British show from the 80s, maybe 70s and 80s, maybe, I don't know. But no, I don't think there's an Irish version. It may have been dubbed into Irish language at some point. I don't know. But T, I don't know. I don't know if there's another answer I should give because we have some questionable TV characters ourselves here. So, but no, anyways, what else have we got? T says, "Hey Rob, did you get the board sorted?" which is an interesting question. Nella says, "Hey all, great to see you, Nella. Hope all is well with you, my friend." Um, Let me see. Scott says, "Hey Nella, nice heritage guitar, indeed." And hope you're enjoying the heritage. Says T. This is all coming. How everyone knows about the heritage guitar is that we have a Facebook group. You can find the links in the description below, just in case anyone hasn't heard me say this 10 billion times. Link in the description for the Facebook group. It's completely free to join. You just join the group and you can talk about guitars. There's people who can't make it to the live streams who are in the group there and very welcome to be so, and very cool people who join us, to talk about guitars and things on the group and all kinds of things. So you should definitely check it out at some point if you want to. If you're on Facebook, which you shouldn't be, it's awful. Anyways, sorry for that, but it is. Matt Van Bosch is here. Great to see you, Matt. Hope you are well, my friend. T says, "Shivers down my backbone. The bearded one is near." Well, there you go, T. That's 18, 19 minutes ago. So, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. DMAC is here. Great to see you, DMAC. Hope you are well, my friend, as well. And Rob F says, "But do you have the shakes in your knee bones?" Formerly known as T. And there you go. That is a question I don't think I want to know the answer to. Where are we now? We've got some chats dropped in on me. God damn it. One of these days I'm gonna master this live stream thing. 122 shows in and I still haven't a clue what I'm doing most weeks. Scott says that's the Eddie Cochran disease. It's just gonna roll on. Glenn Bailey is here. Hello family. Hope all is well. And hello Sir Dave of 3 Chords. Well, thank you, Sir Glenn of Bailey. Hope you are well, my friend. Glad to have you with us as always. Let me see. Wait. I missed something because this next comment, I must have missed something. It's from Rob F. It says, "For me, it's live at Leeds with that awesome John Entwistle bass line at Scott Bugfoot." What did Scott Bugfoot ask? It sounds like best live album. So if you ask that, yeah, I mean, Live at Leeds is definitely up there. It's one of the best live albums. I don't know if that was I can't see anything that would relate to that, Rob. I'm sorry. So I'm just going to assume that that's what the question was. If it is best live album, I think it's in top 3 Live at Leeds. Rory Gallagher Irish Tour and Guns N' Roses the live CD they did. Was it all live in Tokyo or something? This is a very, very good live album. I literally wore out the CD, both CDs for that when I got it first. Very, very cool. It was in my car. It was in my bedroom. It was in the kitchen. It was everywhere. I love that. I love that album. But anyways, that might not have been a question. Live at Leeds is a great album. It shows how good a tight a band The Who were as well. Would have loved to have seen them in their heyday. Saw them a few times in the 2000s, but yeah, would have been great to see him back in the day. Eric Ludiger's here. Great to see you, Eric. Hope all is good with you, my friend. And Todd Moore is here as well. Hope you're well, Todd. Wishing you well as always. Ben Olmark says, "Good evening, Dave. Evening, everybody. I hope each and every one of you are doing well." And we wish you the same, Ben. Thanks for dropping in and saying hello to us. Great to have you in the chat with us. So lots of folks saying hello. What did I say I would do at past? Oh, yeah, give you the little announcement. Todd says, "Hope you are all well. May have to bail early, but wanted to drop by to give a like, leave a comment, etc." Thanks, Todd. It all helps the channel. Absolutely, it's super cool of you to do that. And if you could, guys, just make sure if the videos get out this week that you hit the like button and leave a comment if you can as well. That all helps with the engagement and stuff. And YouTube eventually will push the channel beyond the levels that it has in the past. It's kind of hit and miss, and there's no way of guaranteeing it does that, but that one of these days it'll do it. So there we go. Let me see what we've got. Buglip says, "Dave swinging the haute couture fashion tonight." Hot? How? Haute? I don't speak French very good. Haute couture. Yeah, let's say that's what it is. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I think this would go well on the catwalk anywhere. The old Timu guitar shirt. Yeah, I'm very fond of it. I wear it everywhere I go. In the office. Rob F says, "Is that Timu fashion?" Yes, it is, Rob. Um, it's the greatest of all high fashion brands, Timu. Um, it is very polyester. If anyone's wondering, if they want to get their own one to bring out and just like wear around town, it's very clingy and appealing. I think not in the ways you probably want it to be though. T says, "I like that shirt." Well, you might be able to win it someday. T, who knows? We just all keep our fingers crossed that might happen. Todd Moore says, "Journeyman is a fine Clapton album." Indeed, it is. It's a nice album. I like it. It's one of the albums that has been kind of on rotation and probably throughout my life. I don't know, whenever since it came out. Like it's been, because my dad used to listen to it a lot. He's a big Clapton fan. Steve Cassidy guitar is here. Great to see you, Steve. Hope you are well, my friend. I enjoyed your Solo King video this week. That was quite enjoyable and interesting, actually. Pickups were a bit dark. It sounded, I could tell what we're talking about. So I'm looking forward to seeing your comparison with the Charvel and ah the Jet. Yeah, yeah, that's what it is, the Jet. But yeah, definitely interested in that one, Steve. And thanks for joining us today. Although I do have to say, the Solo King, the color, the finish on that is pretty cool. But anyways, rolling on. Nella says, "Thanks, Scott. I love it. It's killer. That's for the heritage," which is right. Very good. Matt from Bosch says, "Dave, that shirt is so wrong. It's right." Thanks, Matt. I appreciate it. It is all of those things. It's terrible and it's great at the same time, um, in my opinion. Todd Moore says, "Star Wars is also a fine choice, sir." It is indeed. A few Star Wars related shirts. Always happy to show my Star Wars nerdiness. Why not? It was one of my favorite movies, series, until Ryan Johnson got involved. Um, no, Siri, I don't want you to say anything. Nella says, "Formerly known as T member 1 month. Thanks, Killer Guitar." Um, well, I presume that's referencing to T being a member of the YouTube channel. Because, yes, let's just throw it out there. You can be a Patreon member of this YouTube channel. It's a very fine YouTube channel, if I do say so myself. Or you can join the membership on YouTube right here. There's links and buttons and stuff you can press down below, down here, somewhere on the screen. If you do that, you help support the channel. There's also other links. You can buy like the merch and stuff, or you can just do super thanks and super chats and all those kind of things. You can do them on all the videos, by the way, and all those kind of things. If you do those kind of things, oh, also you can sponsor a video on the channel if you're so inclined. All those kind of things help me be enthused about YouTube. So there you go. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. That is about it. But anyway, you can join all those things if you want to. If you don't want to, that's all good. Because I'll still be here on most Saturday nights. Glenn Bailey says, "My guitar shirt from Timu, when I button up the neck, it doesn't line up." They don't do precision, Glenn. That's something they don't tell you. Precision is second in importance to everything else. Steve Cassidy Guitar says, "Poll question: should there be a poll?" Steve, I know my audience; they will take the piss out of that all night long. So thanks for the suggestion, sir. But they would kill me with the comments. Absolutely. Glenn Bailey says, "I was buying a PV guitar a few years ago, and the guy showed me his dinky." Glenn, those deal breaking offers are just, sometimes you should keep them to yourself, sir. But I'm glad you got to see one. Rob says, "Only half finished with my pedal board. It looks like it will not be ready for practice tomorrow morning." Oh well, sir, gives you time to keep working on it, which is good. And Richard Clark says, "Star Wars was only good because it was a true story." Absolutely, and filmed on location as well, which I like about it. None of this green screen nonsense that they do nowadays. Steve Cassidy Guitar says, "Poll question: LPs, pick guards on or off?" And obviously the answer is off. But it's not a terrible question. I'll consider it. I'll consider it for next week. Or for the next live stream, I should say, which gives away what I'm about to say. But yeah, pick guards for me on Les Pauls. No, take them off. I don't like them. And I think that's probably because I'm a big Slash fan, and I think he never rocks a pick guard, so that's probably why. But yeah, I've always just been like, nah, take that pick guard off straight away. Um, so that's it. But like on SGs, obviously you gotta have one. On a Telecaster, you gotta have one. On a Strat, you gotta have one. You just gotta make them cool looking. I think a lot of them are too bland and boring. And like you said on the Solo Kings, they went with the parchment one, and it didn't look as good as on the other ones, just the plain white. So I don't know. I mean, pick guards I don't really like, except on SGs. Anyway, I'll keep contradicting myself until I get it right. Bugnip says, blame Jackson. I didn't name the thing. Sure, sir. Sure. I bet you have named it. It's just, anyways. James Everett says, I was told I would go blind if I played on my Dinky. Weren't we all told that? You know. Anyways, Dinky is the name of a small 1x12 speaker cab made by Zilla, says Rabef. Yep. I think I'm gonna try and divert the conversation away from the use of the word dinky. Just because I guarantee you YouTube will demonetize this stream or something like that one day, because it's just YouTube. Richard Clark says, is the volume really low? I have my volume as loud as it has ever been on my television, and it is not too loud. I haven't changed it at all. Let me see. Is there anything else I can do? No, it's pretty much up. Now I have here, Glenn was saying such a thing. Oh, YouTube is giving me some shit telling me that there's something going on. So let me see. This should come back. I'm guessing some of you are not seeing anything right now. Gotta open something. YouTube's not receiving a main. All right, well, YouTube, there we go. I think it's back now. All right, I'm sorry, guys. YouTube has decided to be a jerk for a minute. It's showing good strength now, so hopefully we'll be all right for a bit. So yeah, I'll try and get on with it. Where was I? Apparently, at least 11 fingers. My 10 don't seem to do the trick, says Rich C. That's more than enough you got there, Rich C. It's just that some people make it look a lot easier than it is. Glenn Bailey says, it might be a tad low, the volume. It's literally up to the max, guys. I can't. But it might be down to the YouTube issues. It's having an issue with streaming at the minute. I don't know why that's happening. Todd Moore says, Buglips, you can play My Ding-a-ling on your dinky. Can you play My Ding-a-ling on your dinky? I'm just gonna. Anyways, Glenn Bailey says, hit the like button before Marcia gets here and kicks your arse. Indeed. Do that. The Lowest is here. Great to see you, The Lowest. Hope you're well. I actually have the 3 extra fingers from Django and it still isn't helping, says Richard. Well, hey, give it time, sir. Give it time. DMAX says, new gear for me is a Friedman Dirty Shirley pedal. Digging it. Playing my SG with it right now. Awesome, DMAC. Very cool. Todd Moore says, you make videos, Dave? All right, smartass. Yes, I make videos. I made one last week. It went out last Sunday, so I technically have until Sunday to put out another video. Hang on. Sunday's tomorrow, so it'll go normally on YouTube on Monday. I have a couple that I need. One I need to edit still, and one that I've had some issues putting together. That's the chat I had with Mike from upstairs with the right to the right music. I've been trying to put that one together for a while, but there's some issues with the video, and I'm trying to fix that. So hopefully that'll go out this week, and hopefully I'll get another video. I do have a video that I wanted to record today, but I didn't get time. About Epiphone USA and Epiphone inspired by Custom and Gibson USA and just regular Epiphone. It's becoming a mishmash, and there's some things to talk about, but Muddy wanted me to make this video during the week. But my argument is I don't really want to make a video about Epiphone USA guitars, because you always get the people in the comments who are like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't understand Epiphone history. He doesn't know that Epiphone was its own company before Gibson bought it and all this sort of stuff. And obviously, we've been through those things 1,000 times. It's boring now at this stage. But there's an issue. There is an issue with releasing Epiphone USA electric guitars at the same price or less than Epiphone made in China guitars. I mean, it's very much an issue. So we'll talk about it. I think it's a weird step they took. And never mind the fact that they went with, in my opinion, the wrong version of the Coronet. They should have gone with the early 60s version instead of the late 50s version. But that's objective, so subjective. Yeah. So, anyways, that video I'll probably get around to doing it tomorrow morning, hopefully. So it'll go out to the Patreon and YouTube members first, and then 24 hours later, the rest of you can see it. So yes, Todd, I do make videos. Just lately, life has been. I'll be honest with you, it's been difficult to motivate myself for not just YouTube, other things. I've actually cancelled. So I do another creative project with a pal of mine from Australia, and I had to just tell him, look, I just can't do this for now. I just have to, just can't do it for the minute. It's just not feeling like something I want to do. I've been struggling to kind of motivate myself to do YouTube over the last few weeks. So yes, I do make videos, but a lot less frequently at the minute. I'll get back to doing it at some point in the same um, energy that I had for it. I don't have that energy for it at the minute. There's a lot of reasons for that, not just the main one. But yeah, at some point I'll get back to probably over the summer, and there's a lot of other things going on that I can't talk about right now in terms of changes that are going on in the background, which means more time or less time to do stuff. So yeah, I in terms of I know I need to pump out more content, but there's time. We'll get there. There's stick with me. There'll be some. I think over the summer there should be some good content, despite the fact there's going to be a lot less news related stuff. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, but on that note, I do want to let you know I need to take a quick, very short, and probably very necessary break from Three Chord Dave Live, which means I'll just be taking 2 weeks off. Next week is because I'm going to go see a Rory Gallagher tribute act, and it's inconveniently enough on at this time of night. That's in Wexford. If anyone's in Wexford next week, let's come and see the Rory Gallagher tribute act. And then after that, I'm just going to take a week off. Beyond that, I need a little break to reset things myself, and that's what I'm going to do. Just take those 2 weeks and come back to you then, hopefully a little bit more energized for Three Chord Dave Live 1, 2, 3 at the following week. So we will do that. So 2 weeks. We're having a little mid-year 2 week break. We usually only have a 2 week break at Christmas, but we're going to have a 2 week break now. I think I jumped a little bit too quickly to come back into Three Chord Dave Live in March, and I should have waited a couple of weeks, but yeah, I just jumped back into it, and I need to take a little break. So I hope you guys, will come back in 3 weeks' time. I'm sure you will, because you always supported me really well and things like that, and I appreciate it so much. Like, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, but yeah, 2 weeks, next 2 weeks, no Three Chord Dave Live in 3 weeks' time. Lots of liveness. So we'll get back to it. And hopefully, that break will give us all a little chance to do a couple of things and just make sure we're all in good form on our Saturday live streams. So anyways, that's the big announcement for now. Glenn Bailey says, DMAC, is it as good as I hear, or is the tones, or is it, what tones is it going for, Marshall, or what? As for the pedal he mentioned. Booklip says, you're all going to miss my Tinky when I switch over to the Gem as my main. Yeah, sure we will. Bet Dave Friedman uses a Dinky. I mean, what else does Test Little Sister with? Richard Clark, I can always count on you to bring the tone exactly where it needs to be on this podcast, this live stream. Thank you, sir. I see Benny Larson is here, which is great to see. Hope you're well, Benny. We have Glenn Bailey says, Booglips, you'll always go back to your Dinky from time to time. All right. DMAC says to Glenn, it's like a mid-range Marshall type flavor. Very good. Benny says, hey guys, 10 people forgot to hit the like. Benny, that's not acceptable. How are we doing? We got 26 viewers and 21 likes. That's not too bad for tonight. We are 38 minutes into the stream, so it's not, yeah, we're doing all right. If we can double that, that'd be amazing. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do so. It all helps. Uh, Matt Babosh says, "Don't come for the king, Bantersaurus Rex." I mean, I will just stand up for myself. I think that's the thing a lot of people don't expect in those situations, the work situation. It's all good. I mean, honestly, it like it hits you sometimes. You go, "What the fuck is going on?" And then you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to stand up here and tell them all to fuck off." But what it is, um, because I'm the guy who like stands up in team meetings and says, "Wait a minute, this isn't right. Let's fix this for everybody." I'm that guy. I'm the guy who calls the company out on shit. So sometimes that comes with you're gonna get them attempting to slap you down a little bit, and it never works, but they keep trying it. So anyways, it's all fun and games. I really can't say too much because I'm not sure how many people from my company know about my channel. I know some do, and I've had a couple of people mention it to me. So, I just in case they're watching me or they find it in the course of investigations and stuff, and then they find out I've talked about company. I can't say anything too much, but I think the day will come quite soon when I will be able to talk about it, and I will tell you guys which company not to use the products for when that happens. So, um, just kidding. I don't work for Apple anymore, and I still fully support their products if you want to use them. So I wouldn't say anything negative about my company's product, um, even if it is kind of shitty. Sometimes then I'm aware, I'm a warehouse manager. I'm the only employee under my command. Yeah, I mean, hey, Scott, it's all good, man. I get the vibe that you would be very chill and cool boss. So yeah, no worries. Yeah, some people just let their "I'm a manager" get to their head, and that's all it is. Most people have managers if you work for a company, and some people, But I've had a lot of managers down the years, and really, honestly, only a handful of them have been any good at it. So it's just everyone else is just trying to make their way up the ladder. That's all. Buglip says, "Scott, ask your boss to give me a job so you can push me around." That sounds like a fun way to spend your work week. And DMAX says, "I saw Guitar Geek mention that there could be something new, Gen 3 from Boss, I'd assume. It's Katana. He would know a lot more than I would. But yeah, Andy Guitar Geek, by the way, he doesn't know who I am. I don't think he knows who I am, but I think he's one of the better guitar YouTubers out there. Um, he makes some fun videos. Bugnip says, "Make me do stupid stuff like stack the pallets alphabetically." And Bugfoot says, "That'd be sweet." I don't know. I feel like there would be some harassment cases. Um, Deloa says, "Best shirt ever, bar cord none." I like what you did there, sir. That's very cool. Um, did he just say Sir Glenn of Bailey? Yes, indeed. Uh, that's all I think of when Glenn pops in. Jess is here. Great to see you. Jess says, "I loving the shirt." Thanks, Jess. Always good to have you in the chat with us, and glad the shirt is impressing. That's what I hoped for when I put it on today. That it would cause a lot of comments, I guess. I don't know. Glenn says, "Yes, I'm in America. I'm known as Sir Glenn of Black Guitars, but we know how Dave feels about black guitars, and now today we know he feels about both." I was thinking, let's just say black and white guitars equally. I feel the same about them equally. I think, yeah, I don't know. I know someday I'm going to buy a white guitar, and you guys are going to give me so much shit over it, or a black guitar. I was going to get so much. I'll probably buy a Black Beauty at some point. You guys are going to give me so much shit, and it's going to be fucking hilarious. But there you go. Steve Cassidy says, "Cheers for watching, Dave." Hey, cheers for making great videos, Steve. Honestly, if you're not subscribed to Steve Cassidy Guitar, you're missing out. Go watch his videos and subscribe to him. Um, Genuinely a good dude as well. We had a nice chat. You can see our videos together where we talked about guitars and how we got into guitars and music and stuff on the channel. That was a good while ago now. I think that was back in February. Yeah. So go and check those out if you don't mind. After the live stream, of course. Um, Richard Clark says, "Don't ask me how, but earlier today I realized it's impossible to say Bruce Springsteen's string swing twice in a row. I mean, it's hard enough for me to say it once in a row. So I'll take your word for it, Richard. Thanks." Bugda says, "My dinky is also a black guitar." Well, good for you, sir. Rob F says, "Of course, the true British Invasion classic rendition of Shaken All Over was done by the Swingin' Blue Jeans." Um, yeah, that's potentially correct. Buglip says, "Tone comes from the paint, so my dinky is metal AF." Yeah, tone paint. I think we actually coined tone paint on this channel. Everyone else goes on about tone wood and all that sort of nonsense, but tone paint. That's you heard it here first. It's one of the reasons why other guitar YouTubers ridicule me, but there you go. They don't. I'm just kidding. Jess says, "What costs more, your shirt or your beer?" Oh, great question. Uh, well, actually, for me, the shirt was free. So the beer costs more. Yeah, because I got sent a lot of stuff for that sponsorship that I did with Timu. Um, and Timu asked me to let them know when I want to make a part two and they'd sponsor that as well, but I'm not interested. Um, for a number of reasons. The most being that they didn't actually pay me that much money, um, so let's just put that out there. If you are a business, if you have a business and you want to sponsor a channel, my rates are actually pretty decent and pretty low. So if you want to sponsor a video, it won't cost you that much. So just reach out via email in the description. And if you want to recommend anybody, which somebody did recently, and thank you so much for doing so, just let them know. I'm here to help me make money. So I will do sponsorships at decent prices. And honestly, like a lot cheaper than probably I should do them. But whatever, man, it's all good. As you know, I'm a money grabbing whore on YouTube. So just do all the sponsorships. As long as I get free Timu shirts, I'm happy. Rob says, "Jess, it depends if you associate a cost with all of the spam Timu sends you." Uh, well, to be honest with you, Timu haven't spammed me because they reached out to me business wise. I think maybe because I only bought stuff from that link that they sent me for the sponsorship. So yeah, um, it's all good, but I presume they send a good bit of spam. I don't really know. Scott says, "Another thing I want on a guitar is a functional ignition key that disconnects the circuitry." Um, I mean, all right. What if you lose the key though? You know people are going to lose the key, Scott. Come on. That's just guaranteed to happen. Um, there you go. Rob F said, "Peter Green had it right. Take the pick guard off your LPs." Yeah, I agree. I agree, definitely. Daniel Tiller says most Les Paul players do. Indeed, Scott Bogfoot put a link into Steve Cassidy Guitar's latest video, which is very cool. And it says, if you don't watch his video, you should start, in my opinion. And indeed, you should. And Scott's videos as well. So don't forget those. But yeah, definitely check out Steve's videos. They're very cool. Especially, like, you should watch them anyway, but especially if you like HSS Strat type guitars. Other types of guitars too, but especially if you like those. Or just Scottish dudes. If you like Scottish dudes, these are Scottish dudes. So there you go. The Lowest says, Les Pauls look better with pick guards, but I can't stand it being in the way. See, I disagree. I think they look better without pick guards, the Lowest. But this is a great thing. They've made it now so that you don't really have to worry about it. You can take them off, put them back on. It's all good. It's not going to cause you that much of an issue. I mean, there was a time, even maybe it's 10 years ago now, where it wasn't even, they didn't even have a screw in the guitar. You could just, it just attached to the pickup surrounds. But they took that away, I think, from Gibson's anyway. But so yeah, definitely, I think they look better. But then again, there's that one with a pickguard on it, and people like that. So there you go. Rob F says, "Scott Bogfoot, that was such a beautiful shade of purple on that guitar." The Lowest says, "Playing Dinkies gives you hairy palm mutes." See what you did there. Gunberry says, "You need pick guards on Strats and SG because that's what holds the pickups in." Yeah, but imagine if you didn't. And Martin Murray says SG Pickard Batwing or the other one. I don't mind either, to be honest, but I prefer the smaller one that you'll find in SG specials. Because I don't know, it just feels better. Also, because I have an SG special, it's just being a little bit um, it's just a little bit biased on that one. The Scent one says definitely knickers off, as I say, or he scratch plates on LPs. 100% with you, Dave. Thank you, the Scent one. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's all good. Steve Cassidy Guitar says to Scott, mate, thank you kindly. Indeed, sir. Indeed, sir. What else have we got? Lots of folks there jumping in saying excellent video as always to Steve. Indeed, very good one. Enjoyed it. He's really getting good at these videos. Okay, lads, it's honestly very good. Daniel Tilleru says YouTube being YouTube. Yeah, it does that. It does be YouTube sometimes. Nella says, I keep getting the ring of death and have to refresh. Perhaps it's my crappy internet. I don't know, sir. I think it might be network conditions here. Yeah, I've had a few shaky moments lately, but like today in most cases. But yeah, it hasn't been too bad. I think it's okay at the minute. So I think it was all on my end. Anyways, you should be okay from now, I hope. Eric Ludinger says, how about if you play it until you just need glasses? That's what happened. Honest. I was playing guitar. Yeah, that's what did that. So one of the things I like about shredder guitars is no pickguard. Yeah, I think pickguards ruin the aesthetic on most guitars. I think on where they're removable, remove them. That's what I say. Daniel says, my dingling can make someone sing my dingling. All right, well, congratulations, sir. Marcia says, hey, I'm only here for a sec to kick asses and about likes. I have a migraine. But I'll be back next week for Dave's celebration of my birthday episode. It's really on the 22nd. I expect fanfare and presents. Uh-oh. I'll watch the replay, of course. Back to bed for me. Well, Marcia, I guess I should say happy birthday for next week because I won't be here. So apologies for that. But happy birthday for the 22nd. I hope you have a much better birthday than having a migraine. Those suck. But thank you so much for dropping in to say hello and likes. And I will say happy birthday when I do come back in 3 weeks' time. So hopefully when you do watch the replay, you won't be too disappointed. But anyway, it's all good. Happy birthday. And yeah, hope that clears up for you. Daniel Tillery says, Epiphone isn't Epiphone any longer. That is correct, sir. That is correct. Epiphone stopped being Epiphone in 1955, 56. Whenever it was that Gibson bought Epiphone, Epiphone became a part of Gibson. And it's a whole thing. And honestly, when I talk about it on YouTube, there's always some moany ass bitches saying blah 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 blah. You don't know your history, and I do know my history. Actually know quite a lot about Epiphone because it's one of my favorite brands. So I've talked about it extensively and an awful lot, but yeah, people get so butthurt about it. Maybe because they own an old Epiphone, maybe because they, I don't know, have some sort of affiliation to Epiphone and they think nobody knows what they're talking about if they criticize Epiphone. I think there's a lot of that going on online from time to time. I've seen it on other channels. I've definitely seen it on this one. I got it. There's one video I had to remove from YouTube in the 4.5 years I'm doing YouTube now, for reasons of abuse. And the abuse I got when it was a video about Epiphone USA casinos. And oh my God, like the abuse I got for that video, it was nonstop and it was ridiculous. And it was like people, I saw one person in the comments was like, we should boycott this dude's video, not just his video, his channel. Like make sure he never gets successful on YouTube. I'm not that's just some idiot on YouTube. Who cares? But like that one stood out. There was a couple of almost death threats. But these are just dumbasses who type on their keyboard. They never would never do anything. I don't worry about people like that. They're just fucking idiots. But like that's the kind of abuse you get online sometimes when you post something that maybe is controversial, but also can we be grown-ups, please? Uh, so ridiculous. So listen, don't put in the comments, sorry you got that. Sorry those people are like that. Don't worry about it. I was never ever concerned about any of these people. I think those people are just ridiculous, and obviously they would never say anything like that to your face. They're just sad little people who think they're cool on the internet. And honestly, if they don't have one of these shirts, then they're not. All right. So it's just how it is. But the point of bringing that up is when I talk about Epiphone, I always get comments about people saying you don't know about Epiphone, you're an idiot, you're blah 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 blah. Sometimes they come into the live stream chat here just to have a go at me, which is all good. I honestly think it's funny now. It used to affect me a lot more than it did. But this is all based on Daniel Titter's comment. Epiphone isn't Epiphone any longer. It's true. But the fact is, right, Gibson made Epiphone a certain thing. And then it wants us to forget about that thing, but also still remember it. Weirdly. I'll explain this in the video when I do make it. A very good video, which I watched earlier today, by a channel called Ministry of Guitar, or Ministry for Guitar. Um, and the dude is a marketing expert. He was a head of marketing for a big company, and he was going in. He's like, you know what, with brands, I think thought this was. You should watch this video. If I can find the link to it, I'll pop it in on my Epiphone video. Um, but he says when it comes to brands, brands can go down. So luxury brands can release a non-luxury product, but a non-luxury brand can't become a luxury brand. And that's where Epiphone is right now. It's a non-luxury brand that they're trying to make luxury. And I think he's 100% right on it. The marketing is just not going to work. There will be people who love them. But if you're going to have, and it's a whole thing. I'll have to do a full video on it and just talk about it a little bit more. But some people will hate it. So just look out for those comments. And don't react to them. Laugh at them, because that's all they're worth, just laughing. But yeah. So it's my hesitancy. So I should have made this video on Tuesday, but I didn't because of my hesitancy of these comments. But I actually just was like, ah, fuck it, I'm just gonna make it. Let the basement dwellers say what they want. And if you dwell in a basement, I mean no offense. Some of my favorite people live in basements. I actually don't know anyone who lives in a basement, but anyway. So anyway, Epiphone. It's a topic now. We'll talk about it again. Rob F says recently acquired low impedance instrument cable from Runway Audio of Nashville. I was amazed at how much more clarity it gives compared to my old cheap cables. Interesting, yeah. I mean, when it comes to cables, there's definitely a very good there's definitely a level where like the more you invest, it doesn't, what's it called, diminishing returns or something. But yeah, cool cable like that, man. It's nice. It's worth putting good money in. The cheap cables aren't what they aren't good enough. Let's just put it that way. Mar says, by the way, the Guitar Ministry made a great video with an opinion about Epiphone USA and a business perspective. Worth a quick listen. I think that's the video I was talking about. Let me see, can I find it actually, because I'll share it with you guys here. I think it's Ministry of Guitars. Which is the channel, and they've been doing quite well lately. Where's the video that we're talking? The biggest problem with Epiphone USA. Yes, that's it. Share and copy. All right. Here's the link for that. If I pop that in, will it bring me to the bottom? No. Okay, great. So that's the YouTube channel. It's worth a watch, Ministry of Guitar, and it just talks about how they're trying to do that and it won't work. And I think it's a very good comment that the dude makes. There's a super chat, but thanks to YouTube being a jerk, I can't see it. Oh man, YouTube cut off the comments from there. That's a pain. Ah, there we go. Bug Lips, thank you so much, sir, with the super chat says, just do what I do and declare anything you said about you legally a compliment. Uh, that is good advice, sir. Thank you so much for the super chat. That is super cool of you, and I really do appreciate it. Um, as I said, it all helps go through the YouTubeness. But anyways, yeah, all good, sir. Uh, thanks so much. Let me see, where are we now? Yeah, Mystery Guitar, check that out for sure. And yeah, I think they've messed up my comments here, have they? Yeah, a little bit. Um, Let me see. Benny Larson says, I hope you get better. Happy birthday on Wednesday, Martian. Indeed. Hope you feel better, Martian, says Rob F. And DMAC as well. Also throwing in I saw that recommended as well for the Ministry of Guitar video. Steve Cassidy says, enjoy the break, Dave. Well deserved, sir. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it. I know you will be well able to take up the slack that I leave behind. So I'll be looking out. I'll still be around watching YouTube stuff from the guys and girls that I like. But I will, yeah. I mean, next week I was going to take off because I'm going to watch that Rory Gallagher band anyway. So I have my doubts as to how good they'll be. They'll probably be really good, but we'll see. Um, Listen, if they're playing in a pub in Wexford and they're a Rory Gallagher tribute act, they're probably the best Rory Gallagher tribute act in the world, right? I'd imagine so. Nella says, I agree about the USA Cornet. Post 63 would be better. Post 63 would have the Batwing headstock. 61 would have the Kalamazoo headstock, as does the one they've released. But the body shape changes in 61. I think it's 61 it changed to the more rounder shape that is more regarded as the coronet shape. I mean, they're the same shapes, they're just rounded. It's finished better. It just seems to be finished better. It's machined better. It looks like. Anyways, they have a version of that one out, so maybe that's why they did it. But yeah, I agree. 63 would be better. Is the USA Coronet really so much better than the Epi Coronet? $1,700 versus $350. No thanks. Yeah. I will say this before, and I'll probably pop this in the video as well. Some of the wood used in the USA ones that they released this week looks fantastic. Every one I've seen seems to have some sort of figuring going on. This beer's gassy. Seems to have some sort of figuring going on. Seems some sort of dancing in the wood. It looks really cool. But I definitely would question that $1,300 price. I mean, look, there is definitely going to be a difference. Probably a better guitar, but there's questions to be asked, I think, and we'll ask them. We may as well. You know, that's what we do here. We just give Epiphone shit. So let's do it. Descend One says, what doesn't come easy ought not come at all, Dave. Chasing creativity. I've never had much joy with it. Let it come back to you, maybe. Big love. Thank you, Send One. Yeah, it's just been a rough few weeks, to be honest, and just pushing myself a little bit hard on a couple of things, and sometimes YouTube doesn't fit into the schedule very well. I love doing the live streams, I do, which is just a case of sometimes I just need to take a break, and it's been a long run without one for me, I feel, at the minute, so that's all it is. Rob says, man, 2 weeks without Dave, that's going to be rough. What will I do on Saturdays? I'm sorry, sir. I promise you when I come back, it'll be worth it. We'll have a good time. I'll make it worth your while. But we'll have a good celebration when we come back. Nella says, enjoy the break, Dave. With no show, I'll be able to get some shit done around here on a Saturday evening. Thank you, sir. Yeah, hopefully none of you get like too distracted and don't want to come back in 3 weeks' time. But I'm sure you'll all come back eventually, because now you're one of us. The lowest says, as long as the discussion after the break is Dinkies versus V's, it may well be. It may well be. Rob F says, Big Brother is always watching. Yeah, I'm always very careful about what I do say. So you never know. Scott Bogford says, Dave works for MIB. I can't confirm or deny that. Rob says, sadly, though, Big Brother is no longer part of the holding company. Yes. I love it. T says, had to tune out. Somebody called to watch the fight. I'll watch it later. Have a great week, guys. Take care, T. Hopefully, you'll see this when you do watch it later. And I hope you enjoyed the fight and your company and all the stuff. Yeah, take care. Glenn says, I've been thinking about Jackson V's, but Dinkies take a minute to get used to. I think they play well, you know what they say. And Jackson put the power of a dinky in the palm of your hand. You've been thinking about that for a long time, haven't you? Um, Todd Moore says poll question: HSS or HH pickups? I mean, there's variations of that question, which is very interesting. Um, P90s. Both black guitar and white guitar living in perfect harmony, says the lowest. Yeah, listen, there's nothing wrong with them per se. It's just my own personal taste. That's all. I like blues and reds and yellows and gold tops and purples lately, greens, things like that. And I would go with them first. That's my shout on black and white guitars. But look, there's nothing like a Black Beauty is an amazing guitar. There's nothing wrong with white customs, things like that. And just white strats have a place in history, of course. All those things. It's all good. It's just not my choice. The lowest says HH. I love the both pickups with a HH. It's a valid answer. The answer is a minimum of 3 strats. SSS, HSS, and HH. I mean, that's one way of having an interesting guitar collection for sure. Scott Bugfoot says Dave and Steve in the same video. Yeah, it's a good one. I enjoyed that. It was a great chat with Steve. He's a cool dude. The Loa says I saw Jackson sells a purple dinky, but we'll leave that. We can't talk about purple dinkies. No way. DMAX says I'm playing middle on my SG right now. It's the first time anyone's ever played middle on an SG, to be honest. But I hope you're enjoying it. I'm just kidding, of course. Plenty of people do. Buglips says, I like that I set the tone of tonight's chat. Proof that tone comes from the chat. Ooh, I like that. I like that. Very nice. Very nice. Hashtag tone chat. Indeed. Todd Moore says, Rabbi, fine then. SSS, HSS, or HHH. Ooh, I like it. I like what you've done there. Jess says, who needs money when you've got that shirt for life? I mean, I will probably give it away at some point. I'll wash it first and see if it doesn't disintegrate. But if it doesn't disintegrate, someone will get it as a part of a prize that they win on the channel at some point. It could be you. Who knows? Thanks for that, Jess. Ryan Byrne is here. Great to see you, Ryan. Hope you're well, my friend. Says, hey, everyone. Buglip says, nobody needs anything more than 1H. John 5 is onto something. It works for a lot of people. Yeah, absolutely. Or 1P90, which is, I guess, an S. 1S. Rob F says, Todd Moore, depends on the day of the week. That's a great call out. Yeah, absolutely. And Scott says, no, the SG I meant. For the Captain Kirk Douglas. Captain Kirk Douglas. Isn't it Kirk Douglas? Yeah. It's cool. It's cool, SG. Depends on the day of the week. What pickups do you have in your SG? Says Rob. To DMAC. Because you guys know I have P90s, which I love. Nella says, Timu would send you a shirt with currency on it and say they gave you a lot of money. Maybe I should ask for that next time. Steve Cassie Sarah says, I do have a lot of HSS Strat stuff. You do, sir, but you do it so well. DMAX says, Rob F, it's standard. I think it's 490s. Yeah, probably 490s if it's a standard, which is cool. Matt Van Bosch says, Dave, why is the Gibson text on your right arm back to front? No, this one. Hang on. Right arm. This. It is a good question. I think they maybe scanned that one in incorrectly. I didn't even realize that. Yeah, because as you can see, this one, working while looking at the. Hang on, get the fucking beard out of the way, man. This one is the right way around, as is the one over here. So yeah, it's I don't know, they just fucked up on that one. That's the precision and quality of Timu for you. Not sponsored, but you know, there you go. Al says, I don't think anyone will sponsor you as long as you keep wearing that shirt. Hey sir, I'm gonna wear this shirt till someone sponsors me. Um, Let me see. I want a double-sided SG special pick guard. No, sir, you don't. That is no, we don't want that. Uh, anyone ever put PAFs in a casino? Unlikely, because PAFs you'd have to like route out or cut out extra space for the humbuckers. So I think that's quite unlikely. So hopefully not also because casinos are their own thing. And I don't think they need PAFs in them. It's all good. They got P90s. That's all. Don't need anything else. Troll McBlack Guitar says, new poll, what would you rather have? A migraine or a Pelham Blue guitar? It's a good job. I love you, Glenn, but otherwise that'll be a timeout. Pelham Blue guitar all day long. I shouldn't have asked. This shirt is actually starting to fall apart. There's like threads falling off it. Anyways, Deloa says criticizing a casino. No, that's a gamble. Sorry. Hey, it's all good. Just in case you are newish to, I think that was a couple of years ago, that video. Just in case you've joined the channel or community in the last 2 years, what I said was that they had gotten incorrect some of the historical details of the casino, which they had. Like for example, the inlays were the wrong way around. So there's a slant on them on the parallelograms. Is that what they're called? And they were slanted the wrong way. For people who were into John Lennon's guitar, wanted a replica John Lennon's guitar. So I pointed that out, and people were like, blah, 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 blah. And there was, I remember, an argument about headstocks. And I specifically, one dude was like, you keep saying Kalamazoo headstock. What the hell is a Kalamazoo headstock? Nobody's ever heard the words Kalamazoo headstock before. You made that up. I'm like, I really didn't. That is Gibson's terminology. Get it? See why I said Gibson's terminology, not Epiphone's. But yeah, that was pretty funny. This guy was calling me an idiot because I was saying Kalamazoo headstock, which is fine. Listen, you can call me an idiot all day long if you want. I really don't care. But that was that's one that stuck to my mind. The more I think about that video, the comments I got on it were crazy. And yeah, and I don't know if I finished off saying that actually. I had to remove it because I just couldn't. Like it was constant. It was 24 hours a day. I think some YouTube, or not YouTube, somebody on some Epiphone lovers forum somewhere put up, let's go for this guy. Let's attack him. Let's kind of criticize the life and soul out of him until he quits YouTube. I didn't quit YouTube. I just took the video down. And literally only because it was driving me, just like the alerts were coming in, this message, that message, blah blah blah. And I was like, all right, fine. I'm just gonna cut it out and not put up with it anymore. But it's all good, I've moved on. I learned a lot from that video and how to deal with people. And what I will say is a lot of you folks who come to the live stream in particular, have jumped to my defense when people have been overly critical. Listen, there's no problem with people being critical of me. There's no problem with people saying I'm wrong. There's no problem with people correcting me in comment section. I have no problem with people disagreeing with me. That's all good, I feel like that's what we're here for, is to have honest and open discussions. If you don't like something I say, that's absolutely fine. Feel free to tell me, hey Dave, I didn't like what you said there. Here's my opinion, and that's fine. And your opinion is as good as my opinion, and so forth. No problem. We can do that. When it becomes nasty, though, it's like obviously that's where we draw the line. And I think a lot of you guys have jumped on that in the comment sections and stuff. And I see it and I appreciate it. And thank you. Let me just throw that out to you. Thank you so much for you guys who do that, because it means a lot. Some of you have been very strong in how you've defended me, which is great to see. I tend to see them and go, yeah, whatever, dude. It's all good. So, anyways, rolling on. I don't want to dig into that too much because it becomes a big thing. Um, Rob F says, I've seen a couple of YouTube folks put PAF style pickups in casinos. Oh, really? Mick from that pedal show did a pickup upgrade video. Pretty sure there were PAFs. Wow, that's interesting. That is interesting. I haven't seen any of that. There you go. I would never have thought people would do that. Rob says, also Lyle from Sonic Audio recently did a casino upgrade. I mean, upgrading the pickups, yeah, but PAFs, really? That's crazy. I'll have to look out for those. Cute goth cousin says, I vote for beer. Thanks, Glenn. You're a star. What's great is all of Glenn's personalities, I mean accounts, are really supportive of the channel, and every single one of them has a free trial to guitartricks.com. Which is why guitartricks.com probably don't want to sponsor anything on the channel. Ryan Burns says, why are these guys upset about a USA casino? Because the anodyne is just not as good. Adenon, I know the word, I just can't say it properly. And in back in the day, it was like, I think it was maybe an Epiphone Casino fan club or something had a beef with me. Glenn Bailey says, my Epiphones live in my basement back room. We love Epiphones and basements, Glenn, honestly. Apologies for my comments earlier. Ryan Bird says, tried one of the USA Coronets today. It's a fun guitar. Also tried a new EVH 126, which is amazing. Hearing a lot of great things about that thing, to be honest, the new EVH. Ryan says, yeah, Glenn, I have an Epi classical guitar in my closet, and some people just hate and need to spread their misery, says Glenn. Yeah, they come to YouTube comment sections to do it normally. It takes, like, honestly, like when you start a YouTube channel, it takes a lot of getting used to when you get your first negative comment, and it doesn't take too long. You do get them, and it takes a lot of getting used to and not reacting to it. It's a fun thing. It's not fun, but it does take a long time to get used to it. It took me a long time to not react to people, not fight with them, the comments. Now I've become more zen, so it doesn't bother me. Al says, I've become interested in a high-level Epi 335. Jonathan Robson says it's better than the Gibson. Do you mean the new one that's come out? Al, the Inspired by Custom. So that'll be a 355, which is the top of the line when it comes to ES guitars. And yeah, listen, those Inspired by Customs have to be great. In my opinion, they have to be great. And I haven't heard anyone say otherwise about them, so I'm sure they will be fantastic. If my 345 from Epiphone doesn't appear at home in next week, yeah, I think next week, I may just cancel my order and order one of those Epiphones Inspired by Customs. We'll see. I have a couple of other things I might really want instead, so we'll see. But yeah, it's about time something else was added to the collection, to be quite honest with you. It's been a while. So it might be that if the 345 doesn't materialize next week. Very pessimistic about. Rob F says, Glenn, my Epiphone feels outnumbered. It sits in a rack with 3 Squires. I think Les Paul really wants an SG friend. It does. Everything wants an SG friend. Ryan says, no, it isn't better than the Gibson. There you go. Straight from the man himself. Every Les Paul needs an SG to pal around with. Indeed, but not every SG needs a Les Paul. See what I did there. Appan Bosch says, if you're looking into a basement studio, there's a guy in Austria that does a solid job. Great soundproofing. Matt, how could you do me like that, man? That is, wow. You just can't say that name on the YouTube, sir. But yeah, good stuff. And funny times. Nella says, Jesus. I'm way behind, am I? Yeah. Definitely super far behind. Oh God. Epiphone was the last premium brand. Was last a premium brand back in the 50s before Gibson bought them. Then Gibson used the brand to get more dealers into Gibson saturated markets before basically abandoning them in the 70s. Exactly. Now, yeah, because Gibson, I've been through this before in videos, and so basically Gibson used to, let's say Glenn has a guitar store a small little tiny guitar store the size of this room I'm in right now, and he's in um, Washington, right? Washington State, for example. No, let's use a state that I know some of the surrounding states. Uh, he's in Texas. He's in a small town in Texas, right? He's in Katy, Texas. I know that's a small town. My uncle used to live there. And he owns a small guitar store. Gibson used to do deals with small guitar store owners, giving them a tri state deal. Nobody else can sell Gibson guitars in 3 states, even if you're a small independent retailer. So people couldn't buy Gibsons in the rest of Texas. They couldn't buy them in Oklahoma, and they couldn't buy them in whatever the next state on either side is. I don't know, whatever. Um, so that was the problem. So yeah, when they bought Epiphone, they would start making very similar guitars, uh, plop an Epiphone headstock on them, and be like, "There you go, you can buy that." And they stopped doing those tri-state deals, um, which was great because they could sell guitars where they couldn't previously sell them. And of course, then they had other Epiphone models that they brought out and that they inherited by buying Epiphone and stuff like that. And it was a recognizable brand because it was actually a bigger brand than Gibson in terms of guitar sales before that. So yeah, Epiphone has a great history. It's just you're 100% correct. In the 70s, Gibson didn't really know what to do with Epiphone, and so they didn't do a whole lot. They did some things, but not a lot. And then it became a budget brand, which is not where they want it to be at the minute. But it still does those budget guitars and still does them very well. Um, it's just it wants it to be other things as well. So it's a whole thing, and I don't want to get in trouble. I know Cesar is going to hate my video, but we'll get into that. Wayne McConnell says, I'm in the dog park again. Well, thanks for bringing us to the dog park, Wayne. Appreciate it, sir. I haven't been to one in a while because unfortunately I don't have a dog at the moment. I wish I did. But, landlords won't allow it, so jerks. Let me see. Ryan says, also tried an Eastman 355 style. Didn't like it. Had the most body dive of a guitar I've played, and its proportions were just all bad. Interesting, Ryan. Yeah, I liked the Eastman myself when I played it at NAMM there last year. So I did only get a few minutes with it, but I thought it was really nice. Fit and finish was really good on the one I tried. So there you go. Scott says the new Epi not being an ET270 is a big letdown for me. A lot of Epiphones are a big letdown, but there you go. Wayne McConnell says, I own a bunch of Epiphones and I love them. And that's perfect. Yeah, I own an Epiphone. It's one of my favorite guitars I've ever owned. So I'm not an Epiphone hater. I'm not someone who hates on Epiphones just because, hey, they used to be this thing and now they're this other thing. I love Epiphone guitars. I think they're great. And always have. So yeah, I think though there's a conversation to be had about them. But they're just, please know that if I'm ever like being negative about Epiphone, it's not about all Epiphones or about the company or about anything like that. I'm a big Epiphone fan. I've gone ad nauseum about this. My SG Special, my Epiphone SG Special is so good. I sold my Gibson SG Special and I love it. I think it's one of my favorite guitars I've ever played. And I've had quite a few guitars down the years. Ryan says, yeah, my friend's shop has a few of each Al. It's a very good guitar, but the Gibson just feels nicer. The Epi 355 is a good one too. There you go. If they remade the Spirit 2 from Epiphone USA, I'd get one. Yeah, Ryan, I think I would too. If they did that, I would be on board. I'd be like, nobody say anything bad about this guitar because I like those guitars a lot. So if Cesar wants to shut me up, that's all he has to do. Spirit 2, Epiphone USA, protector case, the whole lot. I'm in. Cushman NYC says, sorry I'm late. I missed somebody there. Larry D. Fox. Great to see you, Larry says. Always a good time. Always glad to have you with us, Larry. Thank you so much. Al says, Ryan, okay, I get that. I have 650 Epi LP and an 899 Epi LP. Neither feels as good as either my standard or deluxe Gibson Les Paul. Definitely, I think those new Inspired by Customs are getting closer to what, or they're trying to get them closer. We'll see. I don't know. They might end up splitting the brand a little bit, or I don't know how they do that. I'm not a brand expert, but I think they may have to do something like that. Benny says, Dave, I'm not spending money on a USA 1963 Cornet, but a 61 or 62 Wilshire. Absolutely. I think it'll be cool with the price. I think I'll be cool with the price if the strap button isn't on the horn. That is, that's what you see. These are the things, and I saw somebody. I'm not going to call them out, but I saw somebody in a YouTube video this week say, "Oh, Jimi Hendrix played a coronet, and he didn't. He played a Wilshire, and that's the difference. You've got to know the difference between these things." And I mean, listen, it's an easy mistake to make, honestly, but yeah, 63 would be a better option for me. A 61 or 62 Wilshire would be cool as well, though. I still wouldn't spend that money on it. Especially when they have the ones that the Epiphone ones are like $400 or whatever they are. But I get you, Benny. I think it would be a cool thing if they brought them out. Strap button placement, I'm not so sure they'll go with you on that one, but hopefully. Rob F says, my first car was a 65 Dodge Coronet 440 convertible. Sir, your first car was a convertible? That's impressive. Mine was interesting condition Ford Escort. Yep. With an immobilizer that didn't always work, and sometimes the car alarm would just go off randomly. And guess what? It was blue. But I loved it because it was mine. Glenn Bailey says, don't wash the shirt. You can use your DNA to make an army of 4 Chord Daves. Hey, there's only 3 chords. The Epis don't sound as good as Gibson's either, even with the Epi having Gibson pickups, says Al. Yeah, there will be other people who will say their Epiphones sound better. I don't think, by the way, my Epiphone sounds better than my Gibson did. The SG that I sold because I was keeping the Epiphone. It just feels like a better guitar to me overall. And it was different pickups and electronics and stuff. It was because mini humbuckers in the Gibson and P90s, obviously in the Epiphone. Just all around, the Gibson felt great. The Epiphone SG just fit my hands better. That's all I will say. I don't know how that works or why it works. It just does. Deloa says Nos Big is my favorite guitar brand. Good. Scott says 3 Clone Dave. That's a secret project we're working on, Scott. You're not supposed to tell anyone about that. Steve Cassidy Guitar says, any more thoughts on the live de-bearding? I think about it constantly, Steve. Constantly. When I watch YouTube videos of someone who has a beard, I'm like, maybe I could carry that style off. I was watching a video of Jurgen Klopp today, if you know who that is, and he has quite a beard. But I was also like, well, you know what though, I'm not a 58-year-old German man, so maybe I can't pull that off. I don't know. But yeah, no. To be honest, I haven't thought more about it yet. These things come in like ideas about it come to me, and I'm like, oh, I should do it. I should just do it, and then I get scared that my head will look too much like an egg, so I decide not to do it. Rob F says it was originally my dad's. My cousin crashed it, and then my mom traded it in for a K car. Very sad. There you go. I mean, these things happen, my friend. I crashed my cousin's car when I was in the US when I was only 16, only just gone 16, and I had never driven before. I only crashed it into a staircase and caused minimal damage, but still. He's never spoken to me since. True story. Ryan says, that's cool, Rob. My mom had a coronet. She was driving me somewhere in Austria with an 85 when I was 2 and rolled it. Well, must have been a scary experience for her. Benny says, just a note about the tone finish thing. That is something some people think. I think it's a trick in the mind. I mean, black guitars being brighter. You know, personally, I think Sunburst is the brightest of all finishes, but there you go. People will literally believe anything they see in a YouTube video. So let's just leave it at that. And some people will argue with anything they see in a YouTube video. So let me see, what else have we got? I'm trying to get through the comments. We are almost at showtime, but we'll stick around until we can. Ryan says, Dave, you should just go for it and make the most controversial guitar video ever. Think of the comments and views. My friend's shop started on Instagram and he puts prices in Canadian, but that doesn't state it. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm sure he gets tons of yeah, he gets tons of comments about the pricing. It's hilarious. Wow, I'm sure. Um, yeah, we definitely get, it's definitely an idea. And look, there's been videos I've put out and I have been controversial over time, and they have done quite well on YouTube. Others I thought were controversial and they didn't do well, or I thought were going to do well because they were like exclusive news or whatever, and they didn't do well. So it, it's hard to know what's going to work on YouTube, but yeah, I could do a controversial one just for the crack, see what happens. Ah, there's a YouTube channel I occasionally check in on, who's basically, and I think they watch this channel as well, so I don't want to say too much. Um, but basically, they champion not buying big brand guitars. No matter what brand, no matter which brand, no Fenders, no Gibsons, no Jacksons, no Ibanez, and all that sort of stuff. They say it's not worth it. And it's quite interesting their takes on things. I don't agree with a lot of it, but that's fine. Whatever. Everyone's got their own taste. Um, but yeah, so that would be quite controversial to bring up, I think, and I think that they actually do quite well. Like they get a lot of views and are growing quite quickly from doing such a thing. Um, Not going to call them out, but I think also they've had some interesting takes, I should say, um, factually inaccurate. Eh, yeah. Uh, let me see what else we've got. Ryan says, cute goth cousin is getting married next month. I don't know why you had to break all of our hearts like that, Ryan, by letting us know. Could have kept it secret, but it's okay. Um, I think Glenn says, you're just saying that to break my heart. uh, it's all good. It's all good. Um, we'll be fine, Glenn. Don't worry. There will be more cousins. Somebody's cousins elsewhere. Um, Let me see. Where am I now? Wish I was, Glenn. I was supposed to go to Ireland for it, but due to my recent health thing, I had to pass. That sucks, man. Yeah, it would have been cool if you were here. We could have met up for a beer or something. But hey, next time, maybe I'll come to Canada. I mean, who knows what the future might hold in store. Al says, sorry, you're right, Dave. 355. Hey, no worries, man. I just let you know. That's all. The 335, everybody calls every ES guitar 355, 335, I should say. But there's slight differences, and the 355 is the Mac Daddy, the king of them all. 345 is my favorite, obviously, Back to the Future references and so forth. But they're all very good in their own right. But yeah, the 355 is a very cool guitar. Yeah, that's it. But if you're looking at one, I definitely would love to know your thoughts on it. Rob F says, Dave, now that I think about it, I think Lyle's upgrade video was with P90s. There you go. Well, P90s are awesome. There is better ones and cheaper ones and stuff like that. So yeah, it would make sense. I'm sure it was a cool video. Man, that beer is gassy. It's not a great flavor beer. I don't know. I have a couple of different flavors as well. I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy those. Let me see. We got a couple of first cars. Let's see what else we can get into guitar wise. Wayne McCall says, right now I'm in my 53 Canadian Dodge Regent out for a cruise. Sounds nice, man. Sounds very nice. Yeah, I drive a Mazda. So I don't go cruising. I mean, I do cruise around looking cool in my Mazda, but why are the super chats not showing up in the viewer activity? YouTube, you jerk. Glenn Bailey with the super chat. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate it. So always remember, no matter how many personalities that I have, they all subscribe and always hit the like buttons. And rest up, bro. We appreciate you. Thank you, Glenn. I appreciate that, my friend. Yeah, and I appreciate all you guys too. And thank you so much for the super chats and the encouragement. It means a lot. Really, it actually really does. We'll be good. We'll be good. Uh, in that 2 weeks, by the way, I am hoping to put out more videos. I'm trying to, like, I know we won't have a live stream for the next 2 weeks, but I'll try to put out a video on the Saturday at 10 p.m. Irish time, just to kind of make up for it. So you'll get a little bit of Dave. Um, and just please don't all just start watching Marty's live stream instead, because I know he goes live at a similar time to me. Ryan Burns says, yeah, Dave, the Eastman had a perfect fit and finish, just unbalanced and odd shaped. It could just be that one. They do have a couple of different models, Ryan. Yeah, the one I tried, I can't remember which particular model. I think it was a 486. I thought it was great. Like, I really did. I walked away going, I have to buy one of those. Um, and it's nearly 2 years. No, it's just over a year later, and I haven't bought one. So there you go. Rob F says, sometimes a guitar just doesn't talk to us. Perhaps that's the case with the Eastman you tried. That's true. Sometimes happens, yeah. Let me see. Nella says, I own a Gibson Spirit too, that the Geek Lord had on his channel a few years ago. I actually got a deal from him. Straight Gibson, no covers over Epi logo. Kind of wish it was an Epi. Yeah, it's a really interesting history of that one, because it started out as an Epiphone. Then they started, USA made Epiphone, then they started making them as Gibsons because they were so popular. Very, very cool thing. Little blip in Gibson's history. So there you go. Al says, don't get me wrong, still I can play my Epis. In fact, I have another on order. Absolutely, Epiphones are great, man. I don't blame you whatsoever. Ryan says, sweet. Yeah, I like the idea of having the old USA Epi. They were a great brand then. A lot of interesting stuff happened in those days for sure. And Ryan says, whoa, look at the jacket Dave's got on. Yeah, Ryan, thanks, man. I probably will not wear this shirt on the live stream again, but I might wear it in videos from time to time just for the crack. We'll see how it goes. Nella says, the beard looks great, Dave, but no soup for you. Fellow beardies will know soup is a struggle, but I enjoy soup. I eat soup most days as my lunch, because it's easy and works for me when I'm got an hour for my lunch. So the joys of working from home. Now I appear to be at the end of the live stream. Sorry, the live chat. So there hasn't been any chat in it for a while though. So YouTube maybe has cut me off. No, you're all still there, right? Anyways, it says, I've been enjoying your acoustic stuff, Scott Bogfoot. Keep it up, says Cushman. Glenn Bailey says, Scott Bogfoot, if you could have seen me driving, thinking about your Star Trek video, and people looking over at me like I was crazy. I'm sure that was fun, Glenn. Absolutely. Well, guys, listen, I think we are at the end of the stream tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. And just don't worry about comments on YouTube videos. I actually find them kind of funny now. We're going to do a 2-week break from live streams, and then we're going to be back the week after that. But watch out, there will be videos coming on the Saturdays when we miss the live streams for the next 2 weeks, and we're going to do hopefully another couple of videos. I'm trying to get the video with Mike done hopefully in the next couple of days. I should have it ready. As I said, there's been an issue with the video on it, and I think I've got it fixed now. The audio was a bit messed up on my side, so it should be fixed. So that's going to go up. We had a nice little chat. It seems like ages ago now. And then I'm hoping to get a few more people on to have a chat about guitars, about music, about their own interests in guitar, why they got into it and stuff like that. So I hope you'll enjoy those when they do come along. And I'm going to go see a Rory Gallagher tribute band next week, and I'll let you know how it went. And hopefully, fingers crossed, there might even be a new guitar. So, yeah. Let's hope that actually happens, Toman. If it doesn't, I might not shop with Toman for a long time. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure. As always, I really appreciate you guys. You guys are the best community on YouTube. I'm just here talking and reading out your comments. You guys are the community, and I love you. Take care of yourselves. My name's Chord Dave, and I'll be back with another guitar-related video very soon. But until then, my friends, take care.